What? And we're back.
Hello.
Good morning.
Did you sleep well?
Oh my gosh, guys, I had a sleepover at Jess's house.
How was that?
Interesting.
Why?
There were cockles at 4:00 this morning in an argument.
I did tell you.
You did offer me earplugs.
Yep.
Which I didn't know what they were for. I mean, I imagined what they were for. Not for the cockles, but there you go. So, should have probably accepted that offer, but maybe next time.
I always warn everybody.
And no one ever takes you seriously.
No.
You know how some people, when you go to their house, put like little mints on the bed? I put full-on chocolate bars on.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even have you any bed linen, so you're definitely not getting chocolate bars.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold that against you. So you should just put earplugs there.
That's a good
Just
idea.
as a standard. Like you don't even offer. You just go, you'll need these.
Yeah. Okay.
Just disclaimer. And
Do you
let them
actually
think.
do that then with the chocolate?
I do. My mum used to do it and I've just kept it up.
That's nice. I don't have enough people stay though.
Well, you have time to learn.
That's nice.
I'm coming next weekend, so there's always time to improve. So we decided that because we had a sleepover, we're going to talk about sleep this week.
Yep, we are.
And the importance of sleep and how it can either be a detriment or actually support our way to living a less toxic life.
Did you know 12% of people dream entirely in black and white?
That is so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying the people are weird, but that is, oh my goodness.
Yep. And
That's
also,
like old school movies.
yeah, I don't dream. Well, actually, I don't really
I
know
don't know.
now I'm thinking about
I
it.
might have to go take a nap.
That would be really interesting for us to find that out.
Yeah.
People need to tell us if they dream in black and white.
Yes. Do you know if you dream in black and white? Check for our Instagram stories. We're going to add a little poll there. Because we want to know.
You. And also that we're the only mammals that willingly delay sleep.
We're idiots.
This is true. That's a fact.
Honestly, why would you willingly delay sleep?
Yeah, well, you do, don't you? Like, oh, well, if you're watching a Netflix series,
You need to watch another episode.
Yeah.
Oh my
Anyway,
goodness, that is so fascinating. That's really good. So, do you sleep well? Would you say you sleep well?
yes, I think I do. I think that I sleep well while I am sleeping, but the problem is I need quite a lot of sleep, and I don't always get that. So I have to be quite strict with the time I go to sleep.
Yeah, so that you have enough hours before you have to get up for gym or work or whatever.
Yeah, because that will vary. If I'm going to the gym before work, I'm getting up early, so I've definitely got to go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
But then if I'm not going to the gym before work, then I can have a little bit longer sleeping. Yeah, no, I do. Why do you?
Oh, yeah. Cracking sleep.
All the time?
All the time. The only time I would say when my sleeping gets compromised is if I don't go to sleep early enough.
Really?
Yeah. So if I were to stay up late or go to someone's house like last night and then end up chatting till all hours of the evening, then my sleep definitely is not as good as when I go to bed at my regular 8:30 p.m.
Yes. Actually, I get that. Because you're out of a rhythm.
Absolutely. And according to Chinese medicine, your cellular regeneration happens from 10 p.m. So if you are not in bed by 10 p.m., you won't get full cellular regeneration. So your body's going to do half a job because it's trying to keep you awake when you should be sleeping, but also trying to repair your cells. And then it's all half a job. So
And when we're talking about repairing cells, we're talking about
everything. Firstly, everything you've process during the day, to process everything you've lived through that day and everything, all the experiences you've had, and then actual cellular regeneration, so actual cellular health, being optimized, just doesn't happen because the energy is being used to keep you awake when you should be in bed. It's a bit like when you go to work when you're sick. It takes so long for you to get better, rather than if you would just take the 2-3 days off and stay in bed and actually recoup fully, let your body just rest. It's the exact same concept.
Yeah.
And where your body can just focus the energy that it has on actually fighting off a disease or illness and repairing the cells and keeping your immune system going. So, yeah, I think otherwise I sleep really well. Like but I think it's like you just sticking to that routine of sleep. So how this links into our low tox living is we don't want to create a toxic internal environment where we make our body sick through sleep deprivation. So we'll get into what that means. The toxic emotional state that you find yourself in when we haven't had enough sleep. Not going to say it, but some people get quite cranky when they haven't had enough sleep.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And then the last one is looking at the environment we sleep in and how, because we spend 33% of our life sleeping.
Yeah.
That is a massive part of our environment that we spend time in, and how to reduce the toxic load within that environment is really important. So we're going to have a look at that. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's talk about our internal environment. So our body goes through, we're going to talk about your biological clock now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited?
Yeah, can't wait.
Do you know what that is? It's not that ticking biological clock that you're thinking of. But you're still young.
Thanks.
So our whole body is maintained by a biological clock. And within that falls the circadian rhythm, which is the sleep-awake clock that we have built into us.
Yeah.
And this is not something that people just feel or that we've imagined up, or is a part of a holistic therapy. This was actually what people won a Nobel Prize for in 2017 when they discovered this. So the circadian rhythm is quite a proven thing, and it's how well we maintain that where we then get the most benefit from it. So it's just the wake and sleep part of our body.
Yeah, it runs in cycles, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's a 24-hour cycle.
Yeah.
And the rhythm of it regulates the alertness and sleepness response of your body. So in the morning, we want the body to be really alert and awake. And then as we go through the day, from about lunchtime, it then starts getting lower and lower and lower in order for us to then go back to bed. So that's the cycle that it works in. And people will have experienced a dysregulation this one when they've traveled overseas in terms of jet lag.
Yeah.
I've never had jet lag. Have you had jet lag?
Yeah.
When? Where did you go?
Australia. New Zealand.
Was it bad?
Yeah.
What was it like?
Well, it's... You just fall asleep in the middle of the day. No, you do. You can't... It's so hard to pull yourself back.
Yeah.
And that's... I spent a lot of time there, so that's probably why. It was kind of... I was in a different time zone rhythm.
And then in the evening, are you then just wide awake?
Yeah. And also going out.
Yeah.
Just falling asleep when you should really be awake.
Is there photographic evidence of these naps on the park bench?
It's just, it's really strange because your body just takes control. It's like, no, I need to sleep. Stop resisting this.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I have. Although when I went to Hong Kong in April, and I only went for a few days, I was very keen to not get jet lag coming home.
Okay.
So I kept myself on English time.
Oh, interesting.
So when I was flying back, I made myself stay up
Okay.
to the time that I would normally go to sleep at home. So that when I arrived, so I was awake and it was like 3 a.m. in the morning. When actually hit in the UK, it was around, let's say 9. I was like, right, I'm going to go sleep now because I am tired. And then I managed to sleep for quite a long period of time on the flight. And then when I landed, I think it was 5 a.m. here. But I tried to come back to English time.
Did it work?
Yeah.
So you weren't as...
So I didn't have any jet lag. Just the
amazing.
next day I was a bit tired, but just went to
Yeah.
bed normally. I was fine.
Oh, incredible.
So just bringing myself back onto English time.
Isn't it amazing how the body works? It just doesn't matter where you are in the world. Your body's like, nope,
Yeah.
this is not how we roll.
Yeah. Weird. Very weird.
So, basically, just very short, very basic background of the circadian rhythm. It's actually the way that it works is that proteins interact with your cells, and then these cells are encoded by genes that switch on and off in a specific order depending on what stimulus it gets from the outside environment. And when we look at the circadian rhythm, it's all about light.
Yeah.
So that is what regulates that whole system. And so when you hear these people going, oh, screen time at night and all that, there's actually, if we don't adhere to that, there's actually processes happening within the body that can cause us to actually lose those processes in terms of hormone regulation that will then have knock-on effects. So some of the symptoms that we could experience from a lack of sleep is definitely our temperature not being able to regulate itself. So this is like, you can be like, oh, well, I'll just throw on a jumper, but that's not actually what it means. It means like the internal condition where actually your processes, things like you just being able to think and have a clear head, are affected because the temperature is not being regulated. Weight gain, and we'll talk a little bit more about that because of the hormone levels that are altered. And then neurological degenerative orders and things as far as cancer. So the one thing I want to just touch on is like emotions and sleep. Like, I don't know about you, but when I don't get enough sleep, or when someone wakes me when I'm in a really deep sleep, I get really upset, like really annoyed, irritable. So there is research showing the link between sleep deprivation and anger and people getting really aggressive. So that's something to look at, especially in little children. You know, if they're not getting enough sleep, what are their moods like during the day? How are they handling conflict? And having a look at that. And then there's a massive risk of developing anxiety and depression. The longer that you're sleep deprived, the higher that risk gets. And it just makes learning difficulty and our ability to just cope with day-to-day stress. And you and I both know if you're not in the right headspace, it doesn't matter how fit you are, how well you exercise, how well you're eating. Yeah. If your head is not in the right space, you're not going to have a good day.
Yeah, that is so true.
So
yeah, definitely.
So really, really important there. So let's talk about, before we get into the solution mode, which I love because I just love helping people with the solutions. But we need to first understand why we're doing this, because if we can understand the importance of why we're trying to regulate these different areas of our life, we'll be more motivated to do so. Mm-hmm. So there's two main hormones that are important for sleep. One is cortisol, which is known as the stress hormone in the body, and then melatonin. So cortisol is released every single morning. Whether you have a stressful situation or not, your alarm clock is a stressful situation. I wake up before my alarm clock.
Yeah, I do too.
Great. This is why we're friends.
Is it really?
Well,
I don't know if that can link, but okay. I'll go with it.
Why are you friends? We wake up before our alarms go off. So cortisol basically increases in the mornings to make us more alert. So when we say it's a stress hormone, it's not necessarily something bad. It's just something natural that happens to make us more alert in the mornings, which we need because, feeling like groggy and can't get out of bed is just the absolute worst. So cortisol really helps to keep us alert. And then it just starts from peaking at that point, starts to go down throughout the day all the way back to bedtime. And then melatonin is activated by light. So when light comes up, melatonin starts to reduce, and then it gets stronger and stronger towards sundown. It will then start really kicking into action, and just before we wake up will be the highest peak before it starts to decline again. So they work in synchronicity with each other.
Yeah.
So that's really in terms of the hormones that we're going to look at today. So do you have like a routine that you do at night before you go to bed? Like what does your typical night look like in terms of you coming down for the evening?
Well, let's say I've been to the gym in the morning.
Yeah.
So then my evenings are better. So then I can make dinner after work. And
What time is that? I know what time that is because I always ring you when you're having dinner.
yeah, well, I might start making around 6:30, 7ish, and then probably be eating 7:30. Although sometimes if I know exactly what is happening, what I'm making, then it'll be earlier.
Okay.
And then after that, tidy up, put everything away, and then probably come and do some steps on my walking trackpad to get up to my target that I'm trying to do while watching an episode. Or I might do some bits on the computer that I need to do. But then probably I will not watch anything. So let's say an episode finishes at 9:40.
Yeah.
Another episode is not going on. That's it.
Okay.
I'm going upstairs now.
Yeah.
Because I know that it's going to go over past 10 o'clock. So it's not going to happen. If an episode finishes just after 10, then I'm like, oh, it's going to be late. But I've already started it. So I will aim to be in bed before 10. And then I can't just go to sleep. I have done a little bit of reading. And when I say a little bit of reading, I've done one night.
So
it's something
you've ticked that box.
It's something I'm trying to get better at.
Yeah.
Rather than going on my phone, because that's, again, really easy. But then I understand about the blue light thing, but I don't think it affects me, but maybe it does. As in trying to go to sleep. I don't have a problem with trying to go to sleep. The room is cold.
Good.
I have to have a cold room.
Yeah. That's probably why you sleep so well.
Maybe there's no heating on in the bedroom.
Okay.
So it's cold in the day and horrible, but then at night I'm like, great. I have to have my pillows in a certain way.
Creature comforts.
Like I just have to.
Yeah.
I do also use a lavender roller.
Okay.
And we use a diffuser as well at night.
Okay. With essential oils.
Yeah, that diffuses, which is great.
Okay.
Which I know you do as well.
Yeah.
Used to wear an eye mask for a few days.
Nice.
Few weeks, then that didn't last very long. Because I don't really need it.
I find it uncomfortable.
I don't really have that issue.
I wake up and it's around my nose.
And I quite like, although it's a cat benefit, because we keep the blinds open, half the curtains open.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Because they like to jump up and watch the birds in the morning. But I quite like that because then I know it's light.
Okay.
And that links into the circadian rhythm because you should, when you wake up, go and look out a window for 5 minutes or so that your body and your mind adapts to the light. So it's starting to wake up.
Yeah, so basically what that does, what you're getting at is blue light in the mornings, right? That's sunrise light. That's blue light in the mornings is really important. So what that does is it actually increases your cortisol levels and then gives you that wake up alertness. So for people listening that are really feel sluggish and fatigued in the morning and can't really get going, maybe just doing that little thing for 5 minutes. You can buy, depending on where you live, because it's quite dark in the morning still, you can buy blue light screens from Amazon. We'll link them in our stories for this week.
Yeah, you can get those Lumilights as well, can't you?
So you can just put that in front of your face if it's still dark and you're getting up earlier than the sunrise to get you going. That's also an option. But absolutely, I mean, just start your day with light on your face will definitely help with your fatigue in the mornings.
I mean, going to bed later than 10:30 stresses me out.
Oh, definitely. I couldn't.
If I've got work the next day and I'm going to the gym, because I know it's going to be a bad day. But that's just for me. That's just me. That's my...
And everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
But I just want to get back to that point that you were saying, like, blue light at night might not affect you. I think it's just, it will affect you because that literally activates a hormone. But it might just be that you're not noticing the effect in the regular way or
it's a very
or
good
you're able
point.
To balance it.
Yeah, and we've got blue light glasses. I'm just not using them, so I probably should just use them.
Maybe.
I use them in the day on the computer screen.
They're almost better used at night.
Yeah.
Because your cortisone levels are activated during that day.
Yeah, anyways. It's probably a good thing. And is that with TV as well?
Yeah.
So it's TV, it's phones, iPad, all that, laptop all that sort of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So using those at night when you're on that will really help a lot.
Yeah.
Also for any kids or teenagers, just to help them not have that spike of cortisol later on.
You can get blue light screens on your phone now. Like the screen protectors.
Absolutely. Why not do both?
I bet that'll be an Apple thing, won't it? That's going to happen soon. I can see that, an innovation. Their screens are going to be blue light protected.
Yeah, probably.
Watch this space. If that comes out,
Jess called it.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Yeah. So, what do you do then?
In bed before 10. I always read before bed. Just to think.
Of course you do, you little nerd.
Do you know I hate sitting and watching TV?
Well, I don't really generally don't watch much TV, but then I really like TV that you don't have to think.
Yes.
Because I've been so busy and focused all day that I just want easy watching.
Like mind numb.
Yeah,
just
but
anything
it's just funny.
Yeah.
And I don't need to think.
Friends is for me, that was always for me. As
I said last week, Working Mums is for me at the minute. Oh, and also I have started watching What You Have Said.
And?
Yeah, it's funny.
It is.
Yeah, it's funny.
So,
it reminds me of you.
Please tell me which character here, please.
You're definitely more...
Oh. I'm so...
I don't even
know where to go with this.
Direct with it. And you're not as eccentric as
I was
going
to say, fashion sense, definite no.
On one of the episodes, she's got spiky hair. It's hilarious. You'd look funny with spiky hair.
Although I have thought I should get a perm.
Oh, jeez.
As toxic as it is.
I'm not sure about that. And she wears these, like a collar.
Yeah, I love that.
Like the Victorians used to wear.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The white things.
So funny.
Oh, I'm going to draw a picture of you with one of them. That'd be funny.
She will not post it on Instagram.
It's going on the gram.
So, reading before bed. I love watching a movie, but I can't just sit and watch TV. Like, I just feel it wastes my time so much. I'd rather read a book at night. No screens in the room for me. My husband still uses his alarm clock. Diffuser at night with essential oils.
Yep.
But therapeutic grade essential oils. Please don't go and just buy anything off the shelf because you just don't know what is in it. If you want help with therapeutic grade essential oils, just pop us a DM. We can point you in the right direction. But when in doubt, Google on EWG, go and put in those ingredients that you find on your essential oils and make your informed decisions there. But yeah, definitely in bed by 10 p.m. And then also always I have this routine of gratitude at night. 3 things I'm grateful for before I go to sleep, because it just puts me in a headspace of, regardless of what happened that day, my mindset is I was grateful for that day and I've picked up on the things that were good. So some solutions that people can implement, like we said, blue light in the morning to help raise those cortisol levels, and then blue light blocking at night to keep those cortisol levels down so your body doesn't go into another leap of stress later after 10 o'clock and then doesn't help you sleep.
I would suggest also, like, to maintain a healthy circadian rhythm, you need to keep a consistent sleep schedule.
Totally. Well, you've seen that, haven't you? You've implemented that.
Yeah, I've got Whoop.
Right.
I've got Whoop now.
So another product we'll tag for you, a Whoop. I haven't got one. I'm busy having a look at yours to see how it works.
It is very good. It's educated me quite a lot. It's highlighting when I should be sleeping. It gives you a sleep plan. Basically, it works off your circadian rhythm and focuses on the amount of strain that you exert, also the amount of sleep that you should be getting.
This is not a paid ad, by the way. This is just
no, it's not. This is just it's not a paid ad.
But it's really good for people who want to get either educated on where they could improve, and then also if you want to really optimize what you're already doing.
Yeah,
so it's for both.
Yeah, and also your recovery. So, for example, when I used to go to the gym, there'll be days where I felt completely depleted, and I wouldn't really know the reason why. Whereas now, that's what the Whoop highlights to me. I'm depleted, which means my recovery is low, which means I shouldn't be exerting much strain, and that's probably because my sleep is also low. So if your recovery is higher and your sleep has been consistent and hit kind of your sleep goal, then you should be able to exert more strain. So therefore, what you do in the day, your mental and your physical and your emotional behaviors will be stronger.
But isn't that the basis of all of this? If your sleep is there, everything else falls into place.
Well, yeah, that's it.
And so if at the moment you're feeling overwhelmed and just, I don't know where to start with sleep. Without sleep,
you can control that. And
Exactly.
People say, oh no, this is what really does annoy me. No, I can't go to bed that early. No, you can. You just have to retrain the body.
You have to.
Like Jack used to not go to bed early, and he was like, no, I can't go to bed that early. Like, I've got to go to bed at like 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, now he'll go to bed at probably the same time. No, most of the time. And he just sleeps straight away.
You do train. My husband was exactly the same. When I met him, I mean, our first date, he said, let's go for breakfast. And I was like, oh, great, 8 o'clock. And he was like, at 10:30. I was like, that's lunchtime. Because that's, his body clock was just like, you get up at 9, 10 o'clock. So, and now, I mean, we're up at 5:30, we're up. And it's just about retraining your body, so you can absolutely do it.
I think you absolutely can. But again, coming back to the Whoop, it also highlights your sleep debt, which is really key. Because like today, I'm in 76 minutes of sleep debt, and I need to get that back.
Okay, well, hurry up, and then you can take a nap.
But it just kind of highlights that more debt you get into, I suppose it's like money. The more debt you get into, the more strain and pressure you're going to be under.
Totally.
And if you can maintain a good sleep schedule and be consistent with it, then that will ensure definitely that your health improves and you're less likely to have an illness. Your body is going to be able to recover quicker. All sorts.
It just affects all areas of your life.
It really does.
I think like if you're a mum and listening to this, you know how it is when you had a newborn and there was just you didn't get a good night's sleep, and then that first night when they sleep through the whole night, the next morning you're like, oh my goodness, I am a human being. I'm a new person. It has such a massive impact on that. So things that you can do to if you haven't got a sleep schedule already, or if you don't have a routine yet. So we talked about the blue lights. Change your mattress. How long have you had your mattress? Mattresses are only supposed to last 10 years. If you have had your mattress for longer than 10 years, go and buy a new one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then also
Pillows.
Do
the pillow test.
You're on your bed for 33% of your life. Make sure that environment is as comfortable as the car that you drive and the expensive clothes that you wear and the couches that you buy. You need to invest in that bed.
Yeah.
So also a really important factor here is look for non-toxic mattresses that don't have flame retardants in them. You can get them. I've just bought one for my daughter from the Wool Room. There's plenty of options out there today, so go and have a look at those. Sleep in a really dark room. This is so important for melatonin production and maintaining melatonin production. So the moment a light goes on, your body will reduce its melatonin production, increase cortisol levels. So in order for you to stay in that really deep sleep, where you're getting maximum rejuvenation, you need to maintain your room as being dark. So blackout curtains, no night lights. Also for children, like they don't need it. Okay, so those night lights need to go. Use a sleep mask if you're in an area where there's no blackout curtains. If you have any blinking lights in your room, just cover them up with some black tape. Sleep mode on your phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I use that.
Yeah, same. So no text messages and light ups during the night. Once you hit sunset, turn off as many lights in your house as possible and keep small side lights on.
Yeah.
Ambiance. Create the ambiance in the room.
Yeah.
For sleeping time.
Yeah, for sure.
And then no TV or phone at least an hour before bed. If you do that, even just use your blue light blocking. That doesn't cancel it out; it reduces it. So we're not at perfect, but we're reducing it. Because even 5 minutes of white light from TVs and mobile phones or iPads or whatever will switch off your melatonin production. Absolutely, just switch it off. So that's just 5 minutes. And if you go and look at your screen time, be honest on your phones at the minute and see how much screen time you spend during the day.
Do you want to know something?
What?
This Whoop is actually clever because you have to do a journal every day about how your previous day was.
Right.
And it basically creates this diary. And I sleep 7% better when there's a cat in my room.
That is so weird.
Yeah. And if like Monty or Rosie come on the bed, and sometimes they do, and I will wrap one in my arm, it's kind of like a calming thing. Mm-hmm. And that's what it suggests. And it because you have to put in, did you experience stress yesterday? I've selected loads.
Okay.
Like, is there a vitamin that you took? What did you share a bed? Was there a cat in your bed? Did you wear blue light glasses? Did you dim the lights at sunset? All these things that you have. Did you experience stress? Did you have a headache? Did you take turmeric? Because I added all these bits in.
Yeah.
And it does an analysis. The more days you wear it, the more data it's collecting.
Yeah.
And then the more it spits out at you. So you've got more trends. But one of the things that has come out is about having a cat in my room.
And what about Jack?
That's not been unlocked yet, as in it has to take certain amount of time.
I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. It's okay.
To be fair,
we'll keep you updated on that data.
Jack doesn't snore, so we're extremely silent sleepers. So it's very good. Like, we went away with Dad. We went skiing in January, and we shared a big room.
Yeah.
Because it was only the three of us, and he was like, "You guys just silent." I was like,
as opposed to
because he goes away with his mate,
yeah,
and he's bought these really expensive earplugs because
For when he comes to visit you.
the snoring is so bad from his friend.
I need to get the name of those so I can wear them when I come here.
He's had them molded to his ear and sent
wow.
away. They're like
He's
they're like
serious about it.
They're proper like musician ones.
Oh, amazing. Bless. That's really bad. When you get to that stage, he obviously values that friendship a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay. So heating up the body before bed. So
Heating it up?
Yeah, nice warm bath, sauna, any infrared light.
I'm not feeling that.
Do you not take a bath at night?
If I've been to the gym in the morning, I'll have a shower in the morning.
Yeah.
I won't shower at night.
But if you can't switch off your mind, that's a good way to do it.
Really?
Because you're going from very warm body to cold room, right? So we want to keep the room between 15 and 19 degrees.
I will say, if my feet are cold,
Yeah.
I will put socks on
Yeah.
in bed and then I will sleep better and then they will come off.
Yeah.
Can you take your socks off with your toes?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I do. Honestly, so you don't have to move your hand position. So you use your toes to take your sock off. And then
ask why you can't move your hand position. So
well, just like, you know, when you're in a really comfy position, you're like, oh, my feet are boiling.
Yeah.
You got to take them off.
Oh my God.
And then you also push them onto the other person's side.
You do know Jack's listening to this. Oh my gosh. I love you.
You need to try that.
You're so cute.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. So, last few things. Mm-hmm. We already said about ideal room temperature. This keeps you in a really deep sleep state between 15 and 19 degrees. Anything outside of that
is horrendous night sleep coming your way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why people sleep bad in the summer.
Because they're just not regulating their temperatures
within
the bedroom.
It's not ideal.
So have a look out for that. White noise, journaling. If you can't quieten your mind, do a mind dump on a piece of paper and throw everything down. Keep a book next to your bed so you don't have to keep processing it and remembering it. Just write it down and then you can sleep. And then, I think that's a lot to go on. So really just put in a solid plan of how you sleep. Even just take a few notes of what are you doing at the moment. Keep track of are you going to bed before 10?
Well, actually, just on that, what about the people then who are working shifts?
So there's actually a syndrome called shift working syndrome, right?
There is some quite shocking facts about shift work.
Yes,
as well.
And jet lag falls into that. So that's actually where they apply that word. But shift working is so unhealthy for a human body. And that's really hard for people who have those types of jobs because, I mean, we have fantastic people who work those jobs, you know, nurses.
Yeah, for sure.
Carers, paramedics, you know. So I get that needs to happen, but it is really, really detrimental to the body. And you need to just have a look at what are you doing on your days off and how can you maintain that when you are able to take a sleep. Are you implementing all these things to get really restorative naps? Because it's what you do on a daily basis, isn't it? Where are you getting your restorative naps in? Is the room dark?
Apparently you only need 26 minutes.
When?
For a decent nap.
Oh, during the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love a midday nap.
I actually don't.
Oh my gosh, it's magical.
I do not like that.
It's literally on my goal sheet for this year to have 4 naps a week.
What?
It is.
Are you joking?
Nope.
Why?
Because I'm a better person.
I'm not. I do not want a nap in the middle of the day.
Really? I'm a better mother in the afternoons when I've had a nap, when my child has had a nap.
That's nice that you've recognised that.
Yeah, so I implemented.
That is good.
So, so if you're a person who works shifts or works at night, then what are you doing on your days off to restore that and to bring that balance back in? So have a look at that. And it's about the quality of sleep as well. It's just as important as the quantity of sleep.
Yeah, it is.
So, we have to go now because Jess needs to take her 57-minute nap.
57.
Isn't that what you're missing?
76.
76. Okay, I'll go have another coffee. Thanks for joining us this week. Please, please, please remember to share, like, and follow our page. Give us a rating on wherever you're listening on your favorite podcast provider.
Give us 5 stars.
Yeah. Not 4, 5.
Rate
5.
us.
If you're listening, please rate. Please don't just listen episode after episode.
Are we doing a thing?
She's clicking her fingers. She's dancing.
Challenge?
Yeah. Yes, we want you this week to implement and share with us on Instagram. Please tag us into one thing that you've implemented to improve your sleep this week. If it's been helpful, just get tagging and keep sharing so that we can continue to bring you our podcast.
Thank you. Bye.
See you next week.